After hours, days, and 2 weeks of trying to figure out how to do this tassel beaded bag, there were no lights. I had backache, headache, finger ache, if that's even a thing. I went through the process of measuring, cutting, winding, and more cutting, arranging, steaming, and ironing just to come out with this. What is this? What is this thing that I went through so much to come out with this? After figuring out all the mistakes that I did, I finally realized that this bag was so easy to do, and we're going to get right into the tutorial right now. No time to waste whatsoever. So I'm using size 10 sugar beads, a 0.7 fishing line, size 8 crystals, and a pair of scissors. Now let's get started. You're going to cut your fishing line as long as you're comfortable enough to work with, and you're going to insert 6 beads on your fishing line and go ahead and cross with the 6 bead. Guys, make sure you watch this tutorial to the end. Do not skip any parts. There's like an entire story in this video, so make sure you just watch. Now on one end of your fishing line, you're going to insert 5 beads and you are going to cross with the 5th bead. Okay, so we are having circles of 6. Basically, row 1 was the first circle of 6. This is row 2 we are building. That's the first circle of 6. And to continue, we're going to insert our fishing line on my right and into the next bead. Then with the other fishing line, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 4 beads. You're working with the sugar beads, obviously. So you're going to pick up 4 beads and you're going to cross with the 4th bead. Insert your fishing line into the next or the following bead from row number 1. We are on row number 2 right now. Pick up 4 beads and cross with the 4th bead, like you see me do. Okay, so this is what we have. And because I promised you guys this tutorial, you guys are getting every single detail of this video. We are not missing anything. Now you go around row number 1. Then we are left with just 1 bead. I've inserted my fishing line into that 1 bead. Then I'm inserting it into the first bead from the row. If you do not understand what I'm saying, please just watch the video. I put it in a speed that I believe even a beginner can follow. Then I just picked up 3 beads and I crossed with the 3rd bead. So this is what we are having right now. So we have this shape right here which has 6 sides and 6 pointed edges. Now into those 2 beads which are at the sides, our fishing line is going to be entering 2 beads, while the pointed edge, our fishing line is going to be entering 1 bead. So we are at the side, so my fishing line is going to be coming out of 2 beads like you see, and I need 4 more beads in order to complete the row. So I'm going to pick up 4 beads and I am going to cross with the 4th bead. So the sides are you're going to be picking up 4 beads to have a ring of 6, while the pointed edges you're still going to be picking up 4 beads but to have a ring of 5. So that is the side there. We have 6 beads. I'm inserting my fishing line into the pointed edge right now, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up 3 beads now. Sorry, 3 beads, not 4. Pick up 3 beads and you cross with the 3rd bead, and that is a ring of 5 that you have. Your fishing line is going to enter the next 2. You pick up 4 beads in the pointed edge, you pick up 3 beads, just like so, until you get back to the end and our circle is building. Yeah, so we are starting with the base of our back, obviously. So that is our circle moving, and that is row number 3 that we just completed. Row number 1 is a ring of 6, row number 2 is a ring of 6, row number 3 is a ring of 5 and 6, and row number 4 is going to be a ring of 4. So with my fishing line in 1 bead, I'm going to take one of the fishing lines, pick up 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. So we are having a ring of 4 there. Insert your fishing line into the following bead, pick up 2 beads now with the other fishing line, then cross with the 2nd bead. Guys, I went through a lot to do this tutorial. Okay, I went through a lot. As you heard from my very dramatic intro, I went through a lot, but because you guys asked me, I am delivering, and I love you guys so much. Okay, and it's clear that you guys love me too, because you guys are treating the channel right. Okay, so I'm inserting my fish lines in the following bead, picking up 2 beads, crossing with the second bead, and I'm going to continue doing this until I get back to the starting point of our ring of 4. Okay, so here we are at the start or the end. Yep, and I have no idea what that bobby pin did to me. I just flicked it away like a fly. I have no idea what that thing did to me. So I'm just inserting my fishing line into the last bead, like so. Then I'm inserting into the first bead of that row. And I'm going to pick up 1 bead and I am going to cross with that 1 bead. And this basically completes or finishes the base of our bag. So we have a perfect circle now for our bag. This is how the base looks like, and now we are going to build the sides. And building the sides is basically building this last row of a ring of 4. So I'm going to start by picking up 3 beads, crossing with the 3rd bead on either side of the fishing, on one side of the fishing line, I mean. So this is what we have. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Yep, so I'm going to insert my fishing line to the following bead, like so. That's the fishing line on my right, my working line. Then the fishing line on my left, which is the fishing line which picks up beads. I'm going to insert 2 beads and I'm going to cross with the second bead. Yep. And we are going to repeat the same process. Insert your fishing line into the following bead. Then you're going to pick up 2 beads and cross with the second bead, and you're going to do this for the entire, this is row 1 now of building the sides. So you're going to do this for the entire row until you get back to where we started. Okay, here we are at the end of our row. I'm just going to repeat what we did on the last row of our base. This is how she's looking like. I'm going to insert my fishing line into the next bead there, and I'm going to insert the fishing line into the very first bead of the row, then pick up 1 bead and cross with that 1 bead. Okay, just go ahead and cross with the 1 bead, and that completes row number 1. I apologize for whatever noise you guys hear in the background, by the way. Yeah, so we're going to start row number 2, and it's the same thing as starting row number 1. You're going to pick up 3 beads on one end of any one of the fishing lines. Then you're going to cross with the 3rd bead, like so. Then you're going to move your fishing line into the next bead. With the other fishing line, you're going to pick up 2 beads and you're going to cross with the 2nd bead. Yep, so you're just going to build this to as long as you want, but I'm going to tell you guys how many rows I did. I think I did a total of 9 rows, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm sure you guys realized from the beginning of this video that I didn't show like how the bag looks like. It's because I want you guys to watch it to the end without skipping, so you see like the entire process that I went through in order to get this bag done. So please treat it like a surprise and don't just skip to the end, okay? So I did a total of 9 rows. 9 rows for the sides, and the measurement is 5 inches, just in case you're using a different size bead, and 4.5 for the base. So now that we are done with the bucket part of the bag, we are going to do the handle. And one of the videos got corrupted because truly I recorded this part of the video like 2 weeks ago, so it got corrupted. But building the handle is like basically building a mat. So this is a 4x4 handle. So I picked up 3 beads, cross with the 4th bead to have a ring of 4, pick up 1 bead on each side of the fishing line, cross with 1 bead, Then I'm going to pick up 3 beads on one fishing line and cross with the third bead, which is a turning. This is going to form a turning bead like so. Then on one end of the fishing line that's facing away from your work, you're still going to pick up 3 beads. Then you are going to cross with the third bead. So we are building first of all a 3 by however long you want your handle to be mat. So mine was 3 by 34. 3 by 34, and the 35th row was the joining row. So I'm just working my rows, inserting my fishing line into the next bead, pick up 2 beads, cross with the second bead. Then at the end of the row, when I insert my fishing line into the next bead, I'm going to pick up 2 beads with that same fishing line, cross with that second bead, and it's going to turn like this. Then I'm going to pick up 3 beads with the fishing line facing out of my work. Then I'm going to cross with the third bead, and that turns the work again and helps me to start the row. Yeah, so I'm just going to repeat this. Insert your fishing line into the following bead, pick up 2 beads with the other fishing line, cross with the second bead. Then in the last row, insert your fishing line into the following bead on that same fishing line, pick up 2 beads, and then cross with the second bead. And you're going to do this, I'm telling you guys now, for the handle length, you're going to do this for 34 rows, okay? Now when you have your 34 rows, you're going to join it. So I'm still using the same thing. Like I said, the original video was corrupted. I'm using the same thing. So insert your fishing line into one of the beads at the corner like so, pick up 1 bead, then insert it into the other bead at the corner, pick up another bead, then close it up. Okay, close it up like this. Insert your fishing line into the following beads at the side, then pick up 1 bead and close it up. Insert your fishing line into the following bead at the side again, pick up 1 bead, then close it up. So if you have a total of 34, you're going to have 35 rows now. So what you're going to do now is to fold it in like so. You're simply going to fold it in so that you're going to have a circle in the middle. It's going to look something like this, but obviously you're going to have a bigger circle. I have another clip that is I'm going to show you guys, which is almost like a different way of how to do the handle, but you still get the same round shape basically. If you want me to do a separate video on how to do this handle, please let me know down in the comment section. In case you haven't understood, I am going to do that tutorial. Okay, so I'm just joining the circle together. I picked up 1 bead, inserted my fishing line at the side, then picked up another bead and crossed, and I repeated to the end. So I'm just going to demonstrate the joining part, that is when you're folded it, after you've folded it. So for this part, this is the only part of the handle clip that basically survived. And for this, what I did was I folded it before joining the round handle together. So as you can see, my fishing line is on 1 bead. I just picked up 1 bead right there, inserted my fishing line on the other side, and I'm just folding. That is how you fold it, like so. Then you pick up 1 bead and cross with that bead. So this is how you join your handle. Like I said, this is a 4x4 handle. Just going to try to get the lighting right so you guys can see. Like I said, there was no lights when I was filming this video. I'm not even joking, guys. I'm not even joking. There were no lights. That's why you see a lot of shadow. I was using my power bank and my ring light to do this tutorial because I was trying to get it out. We didn't have light for 2 weeks, let me just put that out there, so it was hard. So I've just inserted both my fishing lines into the following beads at the sides. Then I picked up 1 bead and crossed. Insert your fishing line into both beads at the side again, the following beads at the sides again. Then pick up 1 bead and cross. Yeah, so that's why while I was doing the first handle tutorial, I didn't have any fake nails on because I literally did it just now when I was about to edit the video. That's when I did it, and I don't have nails on. Yep, so you're just going to do 2 of those particular handles And this is me just measuring. I'm beginning to be very obsessed with measuring my bags. Yeah. Yeah, so this is how our bag is looking like. And the next thing we're going to do is to bead what I like to call the anchor for the handles, like what is going to hold the handles up. This is what our handles look like. There are a total of 35 rows for the ring. If you want to make it bigger, go ahead and make it bigger, but that is the one that was preferable to me. So on row number 1 at the top, you're going to go to the bead at the bottom of row number 1. I don't know if you can tell where I'm inserting my fishing line, but it's in that bead right there of row number 1, the one that's at the bottom. I just inserted my fishing line there, and we are going to build up 2 rows of a normal mat. Okay, so now that my fishing line is in 1 bead, I'm going to pick up 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. Okay, like so. Then you're going to go into the 2nd bead because we are working 2 rows. You're going to go into the 2nd bead of that row number 1, the bead facing down, and you're going to insert your fishing line into that bead. Then with that same fishing line, you're going to pick up 2 beads and you are going to cross with the 2nd bead. I don't think I've said this, but obviously it should be clear by now that you're making the handles with the crystal beads, okay? Then the body of the bag is with the sugar beads. Okay, so with the fishing line on my right, I just picked up 3 beads, crossed with the 3rd bead, and with the fishing line facing downwards, I'm inserting it into that next bead there, or into the following bead. Then on that same fishing line, I'm going to pick up 2 beads and cross with the 2nd bead. Yeah, so like I said, we are building the anchor, which is going to help us hold up our handles. Okay, so I don't know, I'm sure you guys can't tell now, but I am doing a total of 5 rows for this extension. So it's a 2 by 5 extension. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is it. Then I am going to just insert my handle like so. Then I am going to join it to the mouth of the bag. So that I'm just going to join it, so that's going to make it a total of 6 rows. So I'm going to pick up 1 sugar bead, insert it in my fishing line that's on my right hand, then insert it into the corresponding bead at the top, then pick up 1 more bead, and I'm going to cross with that 1 bead like so, and that joins it. Then I'm going to insert both my fishing lines into the following beads on each side. Then I'm going to go ahead and pick up 1 bead on one of the fishing lines. Then I'm not going to cross, I'm just going to go ahead and tie. So I've just inserted both my fishing lines into the 2 beads. So I'm picking up the 1 bead right here, and instead of crossing, I'm just going to go ahead and tie it, and I'm going to end my work. When I knot it, I'm just going to tie it, then I'm going to tuck in all the excess fishing line. So I just do 2 knots, then I'm going to tuck in my fishing line, and as you can see, one of our handles have been attached. Then you're going to go to the make sure it's directly opposite, guys. Go directly opposite where your 2 rows are, then make the other handle. Make sure you count the beads at the sides, that they are equal. Make sure you do that. Count that the beads on each side are equal. Just to give you the numbers for reference, there are a total of 24 beads at the top. So if you're using 2 on one side and you're going to use 2 on the opposite side, that means you're supposed to have a distance of 10 beads at the side. I hope that math is mathing for you, okay? So just go ahead and count your beads and find the opposite sides. Now guys, we are going to go proper into what made my bag terrible. I thought it's a good idea to show you guys what I did, so the mistakes and everything. Now the first mistake, which wasn't that big of a deal at first, was I didn't know that this like nylon twine came like in different sizes, okay? So I did not know that. So this is what I did. I just took off the nylon twine, I wound it around the book, then I just pulled it out of the book. I didn't count how many times I wound it. I just pulled it out of the book, I just cut it, then I lined them up into the number of tassels that I thought I had to make. Then this is, in fact, this is where things just got worse. Okay, I tried to crochet the tassels on the back. This is where I started having problems. First off, my big crochet hook was not working. Then the nylon twine kept on scattering. In fact, everything was going so wrong with this bag. And the next thing I tried to do was insert a line of the nylon twine, then use it to pull out the tassels. Guys, I did so much. Then I tied the tassels on the bag, and guess what, this is what I came out with. It looked so ugly, so flat. I could not believe I did this, and I did this for the entire bag, guys. Like, I was so upset that this is what I came out with. I didn't even have the heart to even like trim it the way I was supposed to. Honestly, like, this broke my heart so much, I'm not going to lie. It looked so terrible. It did not look full like the way I wanted. So those are all the mistakes that I made. And now this is the actual tutorial. This is what you need for the tassels. You need a cardboard. You need a very, very sharp. Please invest in a pair of sharp scissors. You're going to need nylon twine and a tape. So I just took my tape and I measured my bag. As you could see, I measured it again. It's like 5 inches, and I decided to do it 5.5 inches because I wanted, you know, if you're not sure on how long you want to cut your tassels, just make it longer. Okay, it might be a waste of nylon thread, but just cut it longer. But my cardboard, guys, I used a book. Okay, in the first one, that's the first mistake. I used a book, and the book was, it was folding. Okay, it wasn't proper. So use a cardboard, and mine is 5.5 inches. Now this is a new nylon twine. I can't talk. This is a new nylon twine. Now the second mistake I did was use one nylon twine to tassel the entire bag, and that made absolutely no sense. Okay, so this is the second nylon twine. I would have gotten a third one, and take my advice, get 3. And just know this, all the nylon twines come in different sizes, and I did not know. I'm going to show you guys how they look. Okay, so this is 300 rounds, so I wound it 300 times. This is 300. Okay, so for me, if you want to do this bag, get 3 to 4 of the nylon threads, then wound it 350 to 400 times. Okay, so I did a little bit of mistake in this one too, but it wasn't like bad. You're going to see the end result, and you're going to see that it still looked fine. Okay, so I took my small crochet hook, cut a short nylon thread, then put it at the top like you saw me do, and this is going to hold her up. And as you can see, she's long enough. I just measured her at the back. Then I'm going to tie it. Listen to me, guys. When you're tying this, you wrap the twine. Don't just go under the loop just one time. You are going to wiggle the twine like between your fingers before you tie it. I'm going to show you guys how to do that again in a moment. So I just tied the middle there. Then I'm going to fold it into 2. Cut another nylon twine. Make sure these nylon twines you're using to tie are long enough that they can blend in with the original one. So I just put it under. I went like half an inch from the top, half an inch. Now this is how you tie, guys. You simply rub your fishing line so that it winds about 3 to 4 times, like so, around before you pull it down to tie. I'm going to show you guys how it looks like. So as you can see, she looks like I've wound her like 4 times. Then I'm going to tie it. So this is going to keep your tassel nice and firm. Okay, so you're going to tie it. You could tie it 2 times. Then I usually wrap around again so that she's nice and tight. Then I use that same method of wounding it like 4 times. or rubbing it like 4 times so that the tie is nice and strong. So this is how our tassel is looking like, as you can see. So I usually push the head downwards, or I push the top downwards so that it can bulge, or you make it thicker. So like I said, if you want your tassel thicker, and that's what I prefer you should do it, wind it around 350 to 400 times, okay, so that she's going to be nice and thick. Now guys, I have two different types of nylon twine here. I have two different types of nylon thread. Okay, so this is the thicker version. This is the first one I got, and I didn't think anything about it. When I saw that it was going to be small, I went and got another one. I didn't think about size or anything. But let me just say this: if you want to get your tassels, please get them in the thinner version. Okay, I'm sure I showed the labels of the two of them, so you guys should let me know down. Just comment down in the comment section the difference in the two. Okay, so that's what I'm waiting for in the comment section. So I just repeated this. I wound it 350 times. Pulled my fishing line through. Sometimes I just pretended to tie it. Then I said fishing line, my twine through at the top, please. If you look at my cartoon, I marked it top and bottom. I cut out the bottom, then I aligned the one. I cut out the bottom, tied it, then I aligned the tied ones with the original tassel. Then I'm just smoothing everything down. You see how I measured it, that's like half an inch. I took another longer tassel, then I just tied it around. So make sure you're winding it around your fingers so that it's going to be nice and taut. Okay, yeah, so I've just tied it again. Okay, so for if you want your tassels to be nice and fluid and smooth, get the tiny nylon thread. If you want your tassels to be thick and full on your back, get the thicker nylon twine or nylon thread. Okay, so that's everything that I did. And please don't go ahead and make tassels just because you enjoy doing tassels. This is first of all a very strenuous process. Okay, so count the gaps at the top of your bag, then make those number of tassels. So for this bag there are 24 of them. Okay, there are 24 of those tassels. So make sure you count the gaps at the middle of the top, because that's where you're going to be inserting them. You see that gap, those gaps there? I had 24 of them. Okay, so now it is time to trim our tassels. Now this part is completely optional. You can trim it at the end, but guys, like I said before we started the tassels, please, I'm begging you, I'm on my knees, invest in a sharp scissors for this project. If your scissors is as blunt as mine, you're going to have problems, because I had to cut one thing like 5 times just to get the tassel straight. Okay, so it took a toll on me. I suffered to get it as straight as possible. Okay, so I'm just trimming my tassels to be around 5¼ inch. So as you can see me, I'm still trimming that first. This is still that first tassel. I first of all trimmed it in my hand. Now I'm placing it down and I'm trimming it again. Okay, so like I said, this is optional. You don't need to trim it now. You could just attach it to your back, then trim it later. But like I said, because I have an unsharp scissors, I had to do part of the trimming now where I can see clearly. So I'm just placing the next tassel in front of the first one I trimmed, so that I'm using the first one as a guide to like the length that I want. I'm aligning those thick points at the top and the ties. Then I'm simply going to trim. I don't know why I say simply, because I'm not kidding, guys. Please, if you don't have a very sharp scissors, don't even think about starting this project, because you're going to be so frustrated, and a sharp scissors is going to make your tassels, an unsharp scissors, sorry, a scissors that is not sharp is going to make your tassels to unravel very fast and very easily. Okay, so these longer tassels are the ones I did at the beginning. This is the first nylon twine I made, the one I wrapped around the book. That book was too long, too big. Yeah, so This is basically a waste of nylon thread. I was so mad and so angry when I realized how simple it was to make this bag, and I was so excited to make it in the first place. I refused to use my common sense, basically. Yep, so yeah, that is what happened. Yep. Okay, so I'm just trying to trim it again. So just trim, 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 trim. And yep, now we are going to go to the kitchen. I know that sounds weird. And now, guys, I told you guys there was no light, right? Instead of doing what I'm doing right now, use your hair straightener if you have, the Babyliss machine or hair straightener to straighten your tassels. But like I said, there was no light. And I don't even own a Babyliss machine. Please don't do this thing. Do not dip your tassels in the actual water. Don't do that. It's not braids, okay? It's not braids. So like I said, there was no light, and I don't have that hair straightener. If there was even light, I would have gone to the salon and asked them to borrow me theirs, but there was no light. So if you don't have light, go to your gas, boil some water, and just shake the tassels over the steam. Then it's going to straighten automatically. It's not even a joke. So when you shake it, just wind it around, let the heat really get in there, then pull it down so that it can get straight. And you guys, just look at the difference. Look at the difference between the two. Okay, you can't see the difference. Let me take it outside so you guys can see the difference. So this is a tassel under heat on the left that has gone through heat, and this is a tassel that has not gone through heat on the right. So as you can see, the heat works. If you don't have gas, just go to your 3-stone fire and put some firewood, boil some water in the pot, and heat up your tassels. Okay, so I have all 24 of my tassels right here. Look at how they move. They are wiggling. They are looking smooth. And okay, this is another alternative. You can iron them. Okay, so when light finally came on for like 5 minutes, I just grabbed the iron and ran it through all of the tassels. So you could do this as well. So I'm giving you guys options. So don't go and borrow or steal or whatever because you need the hair straightener. But truly, the hair straightener, if you can get it, is going to be very helpful. Go ahead and use it. And if you're using the iron, please use it on a low setting. We don't want you burning up your iron or blackening your iron and burning your tassels, because you're going to start doing another tassel again. And I'm not sure you want that. These things are trainers to do. I don't think you guys realize. Please let me know when you do this tutorial, okay? Let me know if you do this back in whatever color, in whatever color. Please send me a picture on my Instagram. I really want to see it. I'm going to repost it. And guys, I've not said this, but please, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please subscribe. I haven't said subscribe in this entire video, but please subscribe to the channel. My analytics tell me that most of you who watch my videos do not subscribe. So please subscribe to the channel. Please leave me a comment down in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the video. Please leave a like, and please, when you subscribe, turn on notification bell so you know when I upload other tutorials. And I have other interesting tutorials on my channel as well, and I've posted tutorials on most of the trending beaded bags right now, so make sure you check them out. And I'm going to post more because you guys have been sending me so many pictures of bags that you want me to recreate, and I'm so excited to recreate them. And if you have any bag that you want me to recreate, just send to my Instagram at servants_cmr. Okay, we have our tassels ready. This is time for the big thing. How to attach it? You're going to need a 0.25. Listen to me. You need a 0.25 fishing line. Then you need a very tiny beading needle. If you don't have a 0.25, use a 0.30. No more. Please, no more. And use that beading needle. Please, guys, listen to me. Listen to me in this part. Don't say, I have a big needle. Oh, I'm just going to use that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And don't use thread. Use exactly what I'm giving you, guys, okay? So make your fishing line very long. It should be longer, like it should be able to wind around your back about 5 times, okay? Make it to be that long. And double it, please. Double your fishing line. that tiny fishing line that it looks like a tiny thread that can snap, this fishing line is going nowhere. She is not snapping. So make her to be very long, and we're going to start attaching our tassels. And attaching the tassels is very easy. This is why I could not comprehend, I could not understand why I didn't do this in the first place. So go into that hole on one of your tassels. Make sure that the part that you tied on the tassel is going to be facing down or touching the bag. Okay, I hope that made sense. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean very soon. Now if you want to attach your tassels, just watch closely at what I'm doing. Watch closely, don't move. So I'm just tying the bottom of our line. It's not really necessary to do this. Instead of tying the bottom of your line, I'm going to ask you to anchor it to the handle of your bag. I'm going to do that in a moment, but instead of tying the bottom, anchor it to your bag. Okay, so you see that tie that I'm showing you there? Make sure it's touching the bag, it's facing the bag, it's touching the bag. Then insert that tiny needle into one of the top beads right there. Please, if you want to start attaching your tassels, start at one of the handles, okay? Maybe before the handle, in the middle of the handle, or after the handle. As you can see, I started after this handle. I've just inserted the needle in there and come out on the other side of the beads. Okay, then I'm going to repeat the same thing. As you can see, I'm pressing the top part or the head of the tassel so that it bulges. I really want that bulge because I felt like it was not thick enough. Okay, so make sure you do that before you insert your line through the hole and move to the next bead. Now I'm going to attach the other end of my fishing line to my bag and to the handle. So I'm simply just tying it. Like I said, I had to anchor into the bag so that while I'm moving forward, the line is not going to be moving or helping me to remove the tassels that I've already inserted. I hope you guys feel me. I'm sure you guys don't see it clearly, but just tie it not too tight but not too loose around your handle so that it has some sort of an anchor, like a firm place to attach yourself while you move forward. Okay, so just go ahead and do that. Now this is the biggest tip I can ever give you while you're attaching your tassels. While you have, or after you have attached the end to your handle, guys, prepare your power, because once you insert that needle into that tassel and pull it out, then insert it into the bead at the top. Guys, listen to me, pull it as hard as you can. You don't want your tassels to be sleeping or just lying carelessly on your bag. No, you want them to be propped up. This is a mistake I did at the beginning here. I was just inserting my needle into the bead, then I was going forward. Hey, I've attached my tassel. No, 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 no. Pull it hard. Pull on that tassel hard, and once you pull on it, it is going to stand up, and that's what helps to give the bag volume. Listen, guys, tell me, if they give you a beaded bag that is like this, naked, without these tassels, just look at it. It looks like a skeleton. It looks naked. Okay, so you want her to be full. You want her to look lustrous, basically. So make sure you're pulling. You guys, you see, I'm even using a tiny needle and that thread, and I'm still suffering to push that needle through the bead. Okay, so this is why I said, please, a beading needle, those very tiny ones that they use in making chains, go and get it. Okay, guys, pull immediately. Your needle passes through a bead, pull as hard as you can. Pull it. That fishing line is not going to go anywhere. She's not going to get cut. Pull as hard as you can. And if she gets cut, where she will not, if she gets cut, it means maybe you had an incision on it or something that you don't know. then just start back, but please pull on it very, very hard. So while I was attaching these tassels, I was alternating between the smaller size tassels and the bigger size tassels, the sizes. Like I told you guys, I had the thinner nylon tassel and the thicker nylon twine tassel. I would do thin, thick, just so they should cover the bag, okay? Yeah, so just move them around the bag. Please, guys, listen to me. I'm serious. Don't just place them on the bag. Don't just attach them. Pull on it, and once you pull on it, it's going to stand up, and like I said, it's going to give it that shape. It's going to make it look thicker automatically. So this is me giving you a different angle, and this is actually where I started pulling instead. Like at the beginning I was not. Now are you seeing the difference between this place that I'm working on right here, and I'm going to show you guys the beginning, how the beginning looks like. As you can see, that tassel is standing like up, it's like hunched, but this one on the left is laying down. You want your tassels to be hunched. You want your tassels to have a hunchback. They need to be hunched. They need to have the hunchback. Okay, so make sure they are standing upright. Yeah, like that. Do you see that? I just pulled on it very hard all of a sudden, and she is standing, or the tassel is standing in a very hunched way. Okay, so make sure you pull on it. Just look at these tassels on the left. They look depressing. They look like they haven't seen their family in a long time, but these ones know that Christmas is coming and they are ready. I don't even know what all of that means, but yep, what I'm saying is pull your tassels, pull on it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking right now and just let you guys watch. I really hope this tutorial is understandable for you guys. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Please, 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 I want to hear your thoughts. And please, if you recreate, I'm begging you, please send me a picture. You guys are not giving me a reason to shout out anybody, because nobody is sending me any picture of anything that they did. Okay, so please send a picture to me. I'm going to shout you out. I'm going to put you on my community post. Okay, you're just going to have your own post alone. So I want to see the first person who is going to make this tassel beaded bag after I drop this tutorial. So chop chop, you guys should get to work. Yeah, so yep, so I just decided to give you guys this angle, this other angle, so you guys can see clearly. So we are almost at the end of attaching our tassels. Can you guys actually see the difference in the tassels? Like, look at this first four tassels. They are just laying there. They are sleeping. They are lazy. We don't want no lazy tassels. Okay? So I'm going to show you guys, if you have a mistake where your tassels are just laying down instead of, looking up, awake, alive, and active. I'm going to show you guys what to do, because that is exactly what I did in order to revive them from whatever sleep or from the dead that they were, whatever. So yeah, I'm just getting to the end, and this is where I knew that using the small needle was a good idea, because inserting my needle into the last bead, that needle was refusing to come out. So this is the second to the last. Okay, we're getting to the last bead. We are getting to the last bead, and we're going to be attaching the last tassel real soon. So you guys should see what I had to do in order to get that tassel to get out, sorry, to get that needle to get out of that bead. So I've just inserted my needle into my into my, what is that, what, oh, into the tassel. Then this is me fighting with the bead, trying to insert my needle. Okay, so I finally, after forcing her, she got in and refused to get out. She wasn't moving no more. She refused to get out. So what did I have to do? I had to grab a scissors to pull her out. Okay, and I pricked my hand so many times to get this needle out, and she refused. So pro tip, if your needle decides to act like this, use your scissors to pull her out, or if you have pliers, use that to pull it out. I use my scissors as pliers. I have no idea where my pliers are. Yep. So I just pulled it out like so, and our last tassel has been attached. Easy peasy. Yep, as you can see, it's very easy to attach, but the pro tip to attach it correctly is to make sure that you're pulling as you attach them. Pulling as you attach them, okay? Now that all my fishing lines were on one spot, I simply had to untie the other fishing line attached to the handle. Then this is where I started trying to pull her as well. Just showing you how it looks like. So I had to go back and start pulling from the other side so that all the tassels are going to be sitting upright. Okay, so originally, yeah, do you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to like keep it tensioned. I'm trying to let them sit up. Yeah, so originally what I did was I just tied it off. I tied it, then I was about to start tucking it in, and I realized that the tassels were just hanging there. It just reminded me of, the first time that I did it, even though it looked better. But I wanted it to look perfect. I don't want better. I want it to look as perfect as it can be. Let me not say perfect, because that scissors thing made it to not be perfect. So when you're tying your tassels, girl, listen to me. You are fighting the war. You are going to be shaking that tassel. You're going to, what am I saying? Shaking the tassel. You're going to be pulling your bag and moving it around, pulling the fishing line, moving it around. So this is the first tie I did, right? She wasn't strong enough and my tassels fell. So the final tie is supposed to be as strong as when you're pulling it while working. So do you see how all my tassels are just hanging there? They looked weak. They didn't look like me. I'm an advocate for strong everything on this channel. I always tell you guys, have stiff beaded bags. So it didn't look like this channel. So what did I do? I had to go back. I had to go back. Then start pulling again. Okay, this is me going back to where I saw the weak tassels, and I'm pulling from where I see them. I'm just pulling the fishing lines from there. As you can see, look at the amount of fishing line space that is there, just showing how weak they were. So just go ahead and re-pull. Make sure all of them are nice and awake. So I'm doing all of this hard work because my tassels were on the thinner side. They were not thick. That's why I say please 350 wines, wine it around 350 times or 400 times. Okay, whatever works for you. If you want it to, bulge out at the top the way it should. So I'm just pulling on them and bringing them back to that starting point so that I will retie it again. So I'm just going to let you guys watch this part. Okay, so I'm just trying to retie it again. I had to do it again. Okay, so I had to retie it again, then I had to find a way to tuck in the excess fishing line, right guys? So if you want to tuck in or hide your excess fishing line, don't go to the body of the bag. That needle is not going to move. Don't go into the beads at the top. That needle is going to break and you're just going to waste your time. And that's basically all what I was doing here. I was wasting my time. This is why I said if you want to start making your tassels, make them at the handle, because you can easily weave in your ends at those anchors at the handle. So that is why I realized and I started moving backwards. Make sure you're starting your tassels at the middle of the handle. Okay, so I was close to the handle, so it wasn't that bad. I just moved my needle through. I couldn't move it to the through the bead again because it was too strong. I was just moving them in between the tassels, like there were no gaps for me to actually move the needle, so it was too stiff. So I just moved through the tassels, then I went into the anchor and I'm simply tucking in the excess fishing line, just moving it in a zigzag manner. I'm just going to let you guys watch that part. Pro tip for you guys: if when you move the first end of your fishing line through the tassels, sorry, through that anchor part, make sure you remove the needle or look for another needle and attach it to the other into the other fishing line. Move it to the anchor part also, then tie both of them together at the other anchor part, weave it in again or weave it in again, then tie the ends. Yep, so everything's attached, and I started treating my tassel back like it's a bun straight wig. I actually got my brush, started brushing her. Do not do this, okay? Don't do this. This is going to make your tassels to, some of them are going to start unraveling if you're not careful. So this is me about to do my second trim. As you can see, they are not equal. Please, I'm begging you, invest in a very sharp scissors. I don't know how much you think you're going to pay for it. Invest in the sharp scissors, okay? Please do that. And if you want to do your, if this is your first trimming, like I said, the previous ones were not necessary. If this is your first trimming, I'll advise you to put your tassel back on top of an elevated surface, like a very thin elevated surface. Don't put it on the table like this and be trimming. No, if you have like a, how do I call it, a pipe, yeah, a pipe that your back can stand on comfortably, then the tassels are free, they're not touching anything. Yep, put them on something like that so that you can cut them easily and you can see what you are cutting. Okay guys, I really hope that made sense. So and at this point, if you have the how do you call it, the hair straightener or the babyliss machine, after you are done trimming your tassels, you can babyliss it at that time, or you could babyliss it before trimming. It depends on you, so that your tassels are going to be nice and smooth. As you can see, mine, they're not exactly that smooth, but I tried my best, guys. I really did try my best. I did with this bag. This bag showed me shaggy. It did though. This bag did me terrible things. Did me very terrible things. But I tried my best, as you can see. I'm just using the table and moving it around and trimming everything. now I'm giving you guys another angle. Like, I had to do this in so many angles so you guys can see. So when I said an elevated surface, basically whatever you're putting it on, you should be able to hold just the back, and the tassels should not be touching it. Okay, so I'm just moving my distance. My distance, wow, what is that? I'm just moving my back around and trimming out all the excess, because like I said, I did not have a sharp scissors, so I had to go over and over again to do this. This is a terrible thing to do, guys. So invest in the sharp scissors. I'm not going to get tired of saying it. Invest in the sharp scissors. And of course, I'm obviously going to show you guys another angle of me trimming this bag. Like, truly, this bag felt like I was making a bob wig. So you know, those bob wigs, those blunt edges bob wigs, because I was spinning it in all sort of angles. Then I started trimming it like, I don't even know how to explain it. You guys are going to see in a moment another angle of me trimming it. Okay, and here it is. Don't do this. Don't do this. Invest in the sharp scissors. I repeat, invest in the sharp scissors. But yeah, that is basically it for the entire tutorial. And now it is going to be soon time for the review. The review of the back. Just look at her. Look at her shake. Look at her move. She is dancing salsa. She's lustrous. She's looking good. She is moving like, she is whining. That waist is moving. It's moving. Look at how she's. This is what you need at the end of your back, okay? You want it. If you do, this is the movement test. If your back doesn't move this way, you have failed. You have failed. You haven't done the back correctly. So you remember the first back I did, it didn't move this way. That's when I knew I failed. Yep, so this is basically it for the tutorial. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, click notification bell, and send that notification to all. And yeah, if and when you recreate this bag, please send it to me on my Instagram so that I can repost all your recreations. And if you have any other bag that you want me to recreate, do not hesitate to send me a picture on my Instagram. I've given you both the handles. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.